For a big part of my childhood, I always felt lazy, unmotivated, always felt lost, like I didn't know what to do. I spent thousands of hours cooped up in my bedroom playing video games, even more hours sitting on my bed, first thing in the morning opening up my phone and doom scrolling. Even though I had a lot of ambition, I had a lot of big dreams I wanted to accomplish. Of course I wanted to be rich, but I just wanted to also have the confidence to talk to the opposite gender without my face getting flustered and my ears turning red. And I knew internally that I had to make a change, but I just never could figure out how to do it. I remember vividly in high school, I had a red G-Shock. They were very popular back in the day. And whenever the teacher would call on me to answer the question, or a girl would try and talk to me in class, I'd get very flustered. I'd turn red. I'd get very embarrassed, very shy. My friends and everyone would always tease me that my face was the same color as my G-Shock watch. They like grab my arm and like hold it up to my face and be like, oh, you can't even tell he's wearing a watch. And I hated living like that. I didn't want to live that life. I knew that I was destined for better. I knew I deserved better. I just never could figure out how to do it. I'm going to tell you exactly what you can do to fix your own life. And I know it'll work for you because obviously it has worked for me. As the years went by, I continued to do the habits that I hated. I intrinsically wanted to stop doing, but I just couldn't stop doing them. Video gaming in my bedroom all day, non-stop. In this exact bedroom actually. I literally have 5,000 or like 4,000 hours in a single video game, and I did that within just a couple years, and Lord knows how many hundreds of hours in other games. I used to never go to the gym, in despite having a gym membership and me wanting to go to the gym for the longest time and finally doing it, and I still didn't go. All my friends went and I would never join them. I felt so guilty inside. I felt like I was letting down my lineage. I felt like I was letting down my bloodline. I was letting down my parents, and that everyone was disappointed in me. All that potential inside of me is gone now. Sometimes I try. I would genuinely give it a shot to try and make a change in my life, but only after a couple days my motivation would just fade away, and I would go back to the way I used to be and think to myself, this is not worth it because I'm never going to change no matter how hard I try. Didn't matter how much I willpowered myself, sometimes I just could not be bothered to go to the gym. Sometimes I could not put down the video games and I grinded that entire day, even though in my mind I thought to myself, no, today's going to be different. I was at war with my own mind. I could not even get this straight. I couldn't even let my brain do the things that it knew it had to do because it was too focused on doing the things it was addicted to. Now that I have grown so much, it's so interesting and silly to think about the way I used to think, the way that you probably think about change. The way that when I start to explain how change actually works to you, your brain will actively tell you that I'm wrong. And your brain will tell you that the way that you think change works is the way. So let me preface with this. Your brain has gotten you to the place you are today, right? So why are you listening to your brain when I'm giving you advice? And your brain is telling you that I'm wrong, even though your brain has led you to the way you are today. Are you really going to listen to that brain? Because all the beliefs and the habits you've built today are from your brain. And they're clearly wrong because you're living a life you don't want to live. If you're living a life you wanted to live, then sure, listen to your brain. But for now, shut up, don't listen to your brain, and listen to how I am going to teach you. What I did not understand was change is super slow. Let's imagine a 30-day calendar for 1 month, right? Every time you had a good day, you ate right, you slept on time, you woke up on time, you did all the habits that you set out for yourself to do, you did them. That would be a good day, right? And you check mark that box. Every time you have a bad day though, you slept in. When you woke up, you didn't actually get out of your bed. You doom scrolled for a couple hours. Then you woke up. You ate like crap. You played video games all day. You did not do any of the good habits. That's an X. You had a bad day. If we look at you starting off, right? Or not even when you're starting off, you as you are right now, 99% of your days will have an X on it. There'll only be maybe 1 or 2 days where you have a check mark, where you have a boost of motivation and you do the right things for that one day. You're still with me, right? That makes perfect sense, right? You're living a lot of bad days, so you have more X's. You're living only a couple of good days and you have only a couple of check marks, right? Change is basically you just trying to slowly but surely making every single X on that calendar a check mark. The next month, you'll probably only add an extra day where you have a check mark Slowly but surely, you build up the good habits, you get consistent at them. That is how you're meant to treat change. It's not an overnight success story. You will literally have days where you hate yourself even more than when you started, because no matter how much you try and stick to the habits, you refuse to change. You refuse to stick to the habits, and you'll think something's wrong with me. Something's up with me. Why can't I stick to this habit? No matter how much I try, I can't stick to it. You're gonna get super frustrated with yourself. There will be times where you doubt yourself. You will doubt whether you should even do this in the first place. What's the point of even trying if I'm going to continuously fail and continuously fall back into my old habits? I wasn't able to quit video games overnight. It took me months. I always pushed it back in my head. I always said, future me will solve this problem. I want to get rich. Future me will solve that. I want to get a P1, McLaren P1. It's fine, it's fine. Future me will solve that problem. And what happened? 1 year later, I was in the exact same position. Actually, I was a lot worse mentally, physically, emotionally, because the bad habits compounded. So I was actually in a much worse state than I was before. If you don't start today, then you're never gonna start. There's no tomorrow. It's like the movie from Rocky. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There's only today. Tomorrow's a fallacy. Tomorrow's gonna come when tomorrow comes. And when tomorrow comes, tomorrow is today. There is no tomorrow. You gotta start today. And you gotta let yourself struggle and fail. And then you can let the good habits compound over time. Because literally, if you don't start today, when will you start? You can keep on saying, oh, future me will solve that. Future me will solve that. Well, it's not an overnight success story. The only way future you will be able to solve this problem of you wanting money, status, fame, whatever it is that if present you starts today. It's not an overnight success story. It's not like you're gonna wake up magically one day. You're not gonna be playing video games anymore. You're gonna wake up, you're gonna be super confident talking to everybody. You're gonna have no insecurity, no overthinking. Your depression's gonna go away. Your anxiety's gonna go away. You're gonna have a six-pack magically. You're gonna have big muscles magically. That's not how life works. And you know that's not how life works. And yet, that's how you continue to act. That's how I continue to act. That's why I struggle to change. I did not realize sometimes change takes a while to happen. And that if I don't start today, in despite of the fact that it takes a long time, it's never gonna happen. I can sit here and complain that change is gonna take forever. So why even bother, right? I can be like, it's not fair. It's not fair, change takes forever. And so what? I can keep complaining about that, but you're still gonna have to put the effort in, right? You wanna be confident, you wanna look good, you wanna feel good, you wanna have money. Well, that's the life you signed up for yourself. You have to change. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck, but you gotta do it. There is no shortcut to it. I wish there was. Trust me, I would have taught you if there was a shortcut. It's just mind-numbing discipline, mind-numbing frustration day after day that you are constantly fighting with your own brain to change and it refuses to. And you just gotta stick with it for a long time. And as much as I would love to sit here and motivate you all day, it's only you ultimately who has the capacity to change your life. And I was able to do it. And I'm telling you, this is how you do it. The only question left is will you do it? There is no other way to do it. There is no other way to do it. This is the only way. So will you do it in despite of the fact that it's hard? In despite of the fact that it will be challenging, will you still do it? And let me ask you one more question. If it were easy, would you do it? Why would you want to do something super easy? What type of flex is that? Wouldn't you want to do something challenging? Something that you think to yourself, oh, I'm not too sure if I can do this. But you give it your best shot and then you accomplish it. Something hard. We never reward or celebrate things that are easy to do. What do we celebrate? The things that are challenging, that are hard, and people do them anyway. So in a weird way, you should be grateful that it's going to be hard, because you know that at the end, the rewards that you will yield will be real, and you will have earned the life that you're living.